What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down a very important test that's happening with the markets right now, which you should be watching for as time progresses. But let me just mention that I'm not a financial planner. Make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link. You deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Put in $1,000 and you're guaranteed 15 in total. Not to mention free level 2 data with $0 of commission trading. And our friends in just about 9 days from now. Anyways, going back to the markets, I just want to mention that SPY right now is actually trying to uptrend very, very nicely, getting a nice gap up and go. And so far, it's holding up well. But the question is, can we maintain this structure? And what kind of close will we end up getting? I want to talk about more about that in just a couple of minutes. Just remember that for today, we have the 3-month and 6-month bill auctions coming out at 11:30 a.m. There's no other piece of data that's really going to affect this. So that's going to be very important to note. The data is very minor for today, so this gives the market a lot more leeway, a lot more space to do its thing. And so far, it is favoring the bulls. The bulls actually have a bigger edge so far. Now, we have this 554 area to be watching for. Can SPY hold above this? If we hold above this, we have potential to go all the way up to about 555.5. That's where our 200 EMA happens to be. If that breaks, we could even keep on going to this imbalance at 556.7, like around that area. For support, however, if we end up losing and failing to hold around 553.5, I'll be looking at 552 and then 550.5 as well. And that's going to be the most important support. Lose that, we turn back to bearish. So if we lose 550.5, we turn bearish. If we break past 554, we will favor the bulls. So make sure you watch those levels. Right now, we are favoring bulls, and this has a lot more upside potential if we keep this up. So far, so good from SPY, in my personal opinion. Now, for others out there, if we look at, people are interested in ES and also on SPX. ES is trying to push right now, looking more bullish so far. As so long as we hold above 55.80, we're going to be completely fine. This is favoring upside a little bit more to get back to these like previous resistance levels. So if we keep going, 56.15 could potentially be a target depending on where the 200 EMA happens to be. So far so good. SPX is also bouncing. It's now testing this resistance near its EMAs over here. So that's why SPY is kind of like fighting resistance as well. If it breaks this imbalance will take us all the way up to about 55.86 on SPX. Just want to call that out. That's once again giving the market more potential upside. That's part of why SPY is continuing to break out, and it's looking more bullish to me. For Nvidia has a nice inverse head and shoulders like structures. This is starting to look a little bit more bullish to me. When you look at this inverse head and shoulders, it's holding up well. I want to see if we could try to break and hold above 123. So that's where we have this resistance zone, this 122 to 123 area. And we have this key support at 118. If 118 breaks, we'll be looking for 116. So break this 122 to 123 area, and I'll be looking for this push all the way up to fill this gap towards 126. And overall, I think that there is more upside potential for Nvidia, but we have to watch to see if we can try to break this resistance. So far, so good from Nvidia. I think that there is more upside potential. If we reject here, I'll be looking for a move back down to 120.5, but I don't really favor that. It looks to me like it wants to push higher, but we have to see if we can try to break its 200 EMA as confirmation. So the 200 EMA is currently at 122.87. That's a tough resistance. If we break that on the 30 minutes time frame, Nvidia will see a breakout. So far, so good from Nvidia. For others out there, we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is slowing a bit. We actually got rejected off our resistance at 68,000. So it did go up to 68,000 as we predicted, only to reject. So at 66,800, if this fails, so this is where this previous bar happens to be, this would favor a move all the way back down towards 66,385. That's going to be our 200 EMA. So just be very careful. I could be looking for Bitcoin to dip a little bit lower towards that level, but that's still within the bounds of this range. To be bearish, you want to see it lose the 200 EMA. If that fails, then yes, we're going all the way down to the 65,000s. But so far, there's no sign of that breaking, so give this a little bit more time. For a few more, we have Tesla. Tesla's just kind of shuffling. It pushed all the way up to about 250, retraced back down to 246.5. Those are our supports so far. If we lose 246.5, watch 244 and then 242. Overall, it's just kind of going back and forth after this nice break, back and forth and back and forth. It may just continue to do so. So give this some time, in my personal opinion. There's also a very, very nice looking cup and a cup that's forming a nice accumulation. So this favors upside. So far, so good from Tesla. So we'll just have to see how things kind of develop from here. For the QQQ, We're looking more bullish so far. Look at 483 as resistance. If this breaks out, we have 485 coming next. And if we reject here, I'll be looking for 480 as the next support. So that's going to be very important. If we lose this area over here, especially at 478, the QQQ is going to get a rug pull to fill this gap. So if 478 breaks, we turn bearish. If 483 breaks, we turn bullish. And I'll be looking for a push for 486. So I'll be watching this very, very carefully. For the IWM, we're still kind of shuffling right here. I'm going to be looking at the support around 216. We have resistance at 218. If this breaks, I'll be looking for 220. Overall, the IWM is in the middle. It has a double bottom like structure, so it could try to push higher. But to me, it just looks like it's completely just very, very choppy, kind of range bound. So I'm still in the middle with the IWM. It's not really doing much. So give it some time. For Coinbase, it's basically following Bitcoin. I mentioned to everyone that we could be going up to 262.5, if not 265. But be careful at resistance up there because we could reject. If we did reject, I'd be watching 254. Those are the levels I called out. And that's where we ended up going to. We did end up retracing to about 252, very close to 254. And now we're shuffling in this range here. We have 257 as resistance, and then we have support at 252. We're in the middle, so give it some time. We'll see which way it breaks for a bigger move. Break 257, we're going up to 262 again. Lose 252, and we could be looking for a rug pull all the way down to about 248, if not 245. So just be careful. Coinbase is stuck between these EMAs right here. You guys can see that range. For just, maybe I'm going to just do like 4 more. Amazon, not looking that great. I do like the setup, the inverse head and shoulders like structure, but I need to see it break past 186 to turn bullish. We haven't broken that yet. We came just short of that target. So we're shuffling. We're kind of shuffling in this range here. Hasn't broken out yet, so give this some time. For Meta's on a bit of an uptrend right here. If we continue to push higher and break this resistance, we could be looking for a push all the way up to about 495. And we have support all the way down here around 486.5. So I'll be watching this very, very carefully. If we lose that, yes, we could turn back down. If we lose this 485 area, look for a rug pull. I'm not seeing that so far. It kind of has more of like a cup and handle like structure. So it's still looking a bit more bullish. It's still holding up decently, but I want to see it hold above 490 to push up to 495. We haven't held 490 yet, so it's kind of shuffling there. So that's all it's doing for now. Microsoft has a nice inverse head and shoulders. Look for a test of 445. If that breaks, we could go all the way up to fill this gap at 448. If this rejects, look for a test of 440 again. This looks more bullish, so it favors upside in my opinion. Same thing with Google. It's looking more bullish. Nice little double bottom like structure. Look at resistance, however, at 183.56. If that breaks, then I'd be looking for 184.7. If that fails, I'd be looking for a move back down to 181. But this is favoring like it wants to push higher. Just know we have earnings coming out very soon for Google and also for Tesla. So that's going to cause a much bigger move. Otherwise, the market's holding up well. We'll just have to see if we can maintain structure. Can SPY kind of pass this test, hold above 554 in favor of bulls, or will we get sold back down to favor bears? We'll just have to wait and see. As of right now, we are favoring bulls a bit more, but just be careful, guys. There's a lot of manipulation in the markets. Watch your levels and do what you guys have to do. With that being said, thank you all so much for listening. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in a couple of hours for another update. Thank you and peace out.